I've been in business now for 11 years. I'm quite proud to say that in those 11 years, I've not gone into the red once. I have 5 employees and a fairly healthy business, but this wasn't easy. I feel this gives me a little bit of experience to impart to you. When I first started, I read lots of books, went to lots of motivational / business coach seminars, and was given lots and lots of different tips of how to be a successful business owner. So out of the tips I've given, I've handpicked a few, and I'm going to give you my opinion on those tips. This may be helpful, it may not. It makes for good vlog content. So, tip 1. Stick to your core. This means do what you're good at. If you're setting up a painting and decorating company, don't try laying pavement slab. You may be perfectly good at it, but it's not your core. I don't necessarily agree with this point. When you're first starting out in business, you have bills to pay. You may have a mortgage, you may have kids, you may have employees to look after. So it's not always possible just to stick to your core. When I started, I would take on whatever work I could because I had a mortgage to pay. It also meant that I made a contact that I could maybe use later on, or that maybe come back to me and may give me work that was my core.
This is Derek Solent Scientific.
Point 2, outsource. When I first started, I didn't have the money to outsource. I had to do it myself. And that's why I don't agree with this point. Just do as much as you can. It will require a lot of work, evenings and weekends, but it will save you money. This is difficult because I would agree with that point now. Outsource things that aren't your core business. Your bookkeeping, this, that, little bits in the office that don't necessarily need your time as the business owner. Point 3, don't undersell yourself. So this basically means if you're good at something, make sure you charge people for it. That's a point for an established business that I would say, yeah, it's good, it's a good fair point. But when you're starting out, that isn't always the case. You need to get work, you need to grow your business, you need to pay your bills, your mortgage, eat, drink, live. So underselling yourself may be the only way you can get the job. On the flip side of that, I'll give you a scenario. I pitched for a job against another company where I knew we could do the job so much better. I pitched at a fairly low cost because I was starting out, I needed the business, didn't have huge overhead. The person I was pitching again went in with a huge quote. The company looked at the 2 quotes and went with the higher quote. The feedback was they gave a higher quote, so they clearly had more experience. And that's what makes business hard. It's a balancing act. So I'm saying sometimes you need to undersell yourself in order to get your foot in the door.
This is Wendy from Homestart Heaven. Hello, Wendy.
Hello. Is that it?
Another point, learn from your mistakes. I completely agree with this point. You are only human. You will make mistakes. No one is perfect, but if you don't learn from those mistakes, problems will start to creep in. Write things down, put processes in place, make sure that you can't make that mistake again. Market your business like crazy. This goes back to money again. Marketing and sales is very, very expensive. A lot of people just don't have that cash to spend when they're a startup. Thankfully, in my entire 11 years of business, I have done 1 sales day. From that, we did get 1 new customer that is still with me now. I've never needed to do any marketing or sales in my 11 years. And the reason for this? Because we do a good job. We're professional, yet friendly, and we get the job done. And how does that equate to more business? Through word of mouth. People will always tell other people if they've had a good experience. If you're good enough at what you do, people are going to be happy to recommend you. I hate recommending people. If they do a rubbish job, that looks bad on me. So I will only recommend people that I've worked with and I know that do a good job. Working like this means in 11 years, I've not had 1 customer leave me. Yes, I've had customers that have been bought out and have had to use other suppliers. I've had customers that have gone bust, or I've had customers that have retired and just wound it down. But over 11 years, I've never lost a customer. Actually, that's not true. In 11 years, there has been 1 customer. If they hadn't left, I would have told them to leave. They were an absolute nightmare. The final tip, which you will see everywhere, everyone will tell you, but not a lot of people actually give much attention to, is cash is king. manage your cash flow. I see so many customers run their business on overdrafts and on loans, which sometimes I know is completely unavoidable, but what that means is when you get an unforeseen expense or a problem, you've got nowhere to go. That doesn't mean don't spend and be tight. You have to outlay to expand. Just manage it. If you're given terms by your supplier for 30 days, use them. Create cash flow forecasts, get balance sheets, get management reports, do monthly P&L, get a banking app. I check my banking app 100,000 times a day. Having a positive cash flow looks good when potential clients do credit checks on you, and it also gives you the flexibility that if you do have unforeseen expenses, you can deal with them. Also means every now and again you can go out and take the guys out for lunch, buy gadgets without feeling guilty. There are tons and tons more points that I could waffle on about, but I'm boring myself now, so I'm going to stop. Hopefully those points will have helped. If not, I don't really care because I don't know you, you don't know me.
When we sat there, you and I, the river's gonna cry when you're gone, 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 gone. The river's gonna cry when you're gone, 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 gone. The river's gonna cry when you're gone, 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 gone. The river's gonna cry when you're, the river's gonna cry when you're, the river's gonna cry when you're